Hey there, I'm Carrie and welcome to Plant Powered Yogi TV, where we create health on the mat and in the kitchen. Today on the mat we have a short but powerful yoga for fitness practice. So this is really going to get you heated up, sweating a little bit I hope, and building some muscle and some flexibility and burning some calories. So glad to have you here with me today, and let's go ahead and get to practicing. So standing at the front of your mat, you're going to stand with the feet right together and bring your hands to prayer pose at the heart. Lift through the crown of your head, roll your shoulders open. Find all four corners of your feet. Make sure you have equal weight on all four corners. Tuck your tailbone slightly and draw your lowest abdominals in. And make the muscles in your legs nice and firm, squeezing the muscles right into the bones. We're just going to take a moment here to come into the breath, just begin to get focused, be present, and just get ready for our practice. So breathing fully and deeply. As we inhale, we're going to stretch the arms up and then exhale, folding all the way forward, letting the knees be bent slightly, and go ahead and just let your head go. You can turn your head from side to side and just relax the neck muscles. Breathing deeply as you're holding here. Then inhaling, we're going to lift the heart until our back is flat, and then exhale, folding again and bowing your head. Inhaling, we're going to come all the way up, reach the arms up, look up, and then exhale, folding all the way forward. And just breathing, inhaling, lifting the heart, long spine. Exhale, fold deep, bow your head. Inhale, coming all the way up, nice straight back to come up, and exhale, releasing, folding all the way forward. So the knees can be bent with these first ones. Inhale, heart lifting, look up, and exhale, fold deep and bow your head. Inhale, coming all the way up, reach up, look up, and exhaling, returning your hands back to your heart. We're going to step the feet apart to hip width, placing your hands on your hips. Lift your heart, stretch open and back, looking up, and then exhale, nice swan dive as you fold forward. Again, the knees can be bent here. We're just warming up, so there's no need to really press deeply into the hamstrings yet. And just taking a few deep breaths as you turn your head side to side. Inhale, lift the heart, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, fold deep again. And inhale, we're going to bend the knees nice and deep as we sit the hips back. Lift the heart and bring your hands to prayer pose at your heart. So keep breathing. So you're sitting as deeply as you can here, challenging your strength. And you're really lifting the heart so your spine is nice and long. And then let's inhale and reach up the arms. So trying to create one straight line here between the hips and the fingertips. Breathing, squatting down nice and low, really challenging the muscles of the legs here. Beautiful. And then exhaling, we're going to fold all the way forward. Inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale, folding again. Inhale, sitting the hips down nice and deep. And we're going to interlace our fingers behind our back this time. Stretching the arms out nice and straight, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and lifting the hands as high off the back as possible. So the heart still stays lifted here, much the same as the last time we just did this, but the arms are lifting. And then we're going to go ahead, lift the hips, lift the sitting bones, straightening the legs, folding forward, and lifting the arms even further off the back. Nice big deep breaths here. So here we're challenging the strength of the legs and the flexibility of the legs and the flexibility in the shoulders. So we're going to come out of this by sitting nice and deep. So fingertips should be able to touch the floor as you sit nice and deep, reaching the arms up now near your ears. Again, breathing deep as you hold here in this very deep squat. And go ahead and straightening the legs. We're going to take the left leg out now into Warrior 3. The arms are back like airplane wings, and the supporting leg is as straight as possible. It can have a slight bend to it, and that back leg, it comes up as high as you're comfortable with today. Okay, no need to make it go way up high if your balance is challenged. We're going to release that, coming back deeply into the squat, reaching up the arms. Feet are hip width here, holding and breathing. Relax your shoulders, but squeeze your arms up nice and strong. And then go ahead, straightening the legs as we take the right leg out, coming into Warrior 3. Finding your balance here, keeping your head in line with your spine. The back leg comes up as high as you're able to, only until it gets to be level with the hips. We wouldn't want it going further than that. Ultimately looking like a T shape here. Shoulders would drop as low as possible. Bringing the feet back to hip width, squatting deep, touching the floor momentarily, and then reaching up with the arms near the ears. Good. Work real hard here. We're really challenging the strength of the legs and the glutes. Straightening the legs now, we're going to reach back, interlacing the fingers behind our back, folding forward and lifting the arms up again. We've already done this once, we're just doing it again. Keep breathing. Make sure that you're noticing the weight distribution on your feet. Equal weight in the balls of your feet and the heels. Go ahead, releasing the arms now, lifting the heart, looking up, and stepping back nice and deep with the left foot. Coming into a lunge. Front knee is stacked right over the front heel. Pulling the heart away from the belly, the hips drop low, back knee is lifting. Real strong lifting in the back knee. And if you're able to, come up to placing your hands interlaced onto your knee. If this is too intense, you can drop your back knee down gently on the floor. Inhale now, reaching up and coming into this crescent lunge, reaching up, lifting your heart, stretching up and back, looking up, lifting strong with the back leg, squeeze that back thigh. Good. And then exhale, we're going to place the left hand down, reaching up with the right arm, taking this into a twist. So again, the back knee can be down if that's how you prefer to do this today. If this is just too much of a challenge to leave the back knee up. Go ahead and release the top hand down, stepping the feet up together. They can be hip width. Heart lifted, look up. Exhale, fold deep and bow. Inhale, sitting the hips nice and deep, and then reaching up, arms near the ears again. Sinking the weight back nice and deep, like you want to sit your butt down into a chair. Exhale, folding and stepping the right foot back, this time into that runner's lunge. Just the fingertips on the floor here to begin. We want to work on lifting the heart and lengthening the front of the body. Lifting really strong in the back leg, unless you prefer to do this with the knee down. Then go ahead and take your hands interlaced onto your front knee. And lift your heart, roll your shoulders open. Keep breathing. And inhaling, we're going to reach the arms up now, nice and strong. Look up, keep breathing, keep squeezing the back knee up, unless you prefer to touch it down lightly on the floor. Good. And then exhale, taking the right hand down and reaching up with the left, turning this into a twist, letting your eyes shift upward toward the ceiling. Beautiful. Releasing the top hand, placing both hands down, stepping back, coming into a high push-up position, the plank pose, stacking your shoulders over your wrists, and really lifting strong through the legs and the abs, squeezing everything here. If you need to put your knees down for this pose, go ahead and do that. You can place your knees down and just make sure your hips are nice and low so that you are challenging your core strength. And we're going to take this plank down onto the elbows now, elbow plank. You can always rest if you need to rest. Don't feel like you need to suffer. We want to make this practice your own. It doesn't have to look like anything else. It just find your edges, find your mental edges, your physical edges, your flexibility edges. This one here is really going to challenge your strength. So if you need to drop the knees, that's perfectly okay. We're coming right back into the high plank here. Deep breathing, really squeezing the abs, working that core strength. Good, nice job. Keep breathing. Exhale, we're taking this back into down dog for a little bit of a rest. And so the feet are hip width apart, the hands are shoulder width apart. We want to make nice space between the shoulders, so roll the tops of your arms out, let your neck have lots of space there. Lift the sitting bones really high, pressing the chest back toward the legs as you open the armpits nice and big. Let's stretch out the calves now, just alternating and pressing each heel toward the floor as you bend the opposite knee. Keep breathing nice and deep, and let's inhale, step the feet up together, lifted look up. Exhale, fold deep and bow. Inhale, coming up all the way, reach up, stretch up, and exhale, release the hands. Inhale, sit deep, stretch, sit back, and exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the heart, look up. Exhale, stepping back, high push up, down to low push up in Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling up dog, and exhaling down dog. We're going to step the right foot forward, coming up to Warrior One. The back heel is down, the back foot is slanted. And exhale, Warrior Two. So really picking up the pace now as we go through these sun salutations, trying to bring up the heart rate a little bit. So if you fall behind, don't worry about it. Just do your best and keep breathing. So lifting through the crown of your head as you're holding this Warrior Two. Nice strong arms, stacking the front knee over the heel. Exhale, taking the hands back down to the mat, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, lifting the heart, and exhale, down dog. Inhale, stepping forward with the left foot, coming up through Warrior One. Front knee is stacked right over the heel. Exhale, Warrior Two, dropping the arms out over the legs. Turning to look through the middle finger of your left hand. Keep breathing. Relax your shoulders, lift through the crown of your head, tuck your tailbone just slightly, and draw your lowest abdominals in and up. Keep the back leg nice and strong. Exhale, hands coming to the mat. Step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, down dog. Breathing. Remember, no worries if it takes you longer to get through those sun salutations. It's okay. You can catch up, and we'll meet you right here in the down dog. And we're going to come back to the high plank, down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, down dog. Inhale, stepping the right foot forward, angle the back foot, place the back heel down, coming up to Warrior One. Front knee is stacked right over the heel. Exhale, Warrior Two, and then let's take the hand down to the floor on the outside of the foot, extended side angle. If this is too much, you can take your elbow to your knee instead. You don't have to come down this low. Do reach the top arm near your head, reach it up near your ear, and do try to stack your front knee over your front heel. Exhale, taking the hand down to the mat, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, down dog. Inhale, stepping the left foot forward, coming up to Warrior One, and then exhale, Warrior Two. Go ahead and drop the left hand next to the left foot, or bring your left elbow to your knee, reaching the right arm up near your ear, this extended side angle. Keep breathing. Good. We're trying to make one straight line between the back foot and the top fingers. Exhale, taking the hand down to the mat, step back, and Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, down dog. Remember, you can use your knees on those Chaturangas. All that push-up stuff, you can use your knees. Don't feel like you can't. It's better to keep a nice strong core with the knees down than to get like spaghetti core with getting all wobbly and all bendy as you lower into these poses. So we're coming back to the high plank. Breathing nice and deep. Abs are strong and engaged, really working those ab muscles, and coming down onto the elbows. Elbow plank. Feet are hip width apart. And placing the hands parallel to each other and the forearms parallel as you lift your hips up nice and high, and keep dropping the heels nice and low. This is really going to challenge the openness of the shoulders, so work hard here. This is not easy, and just do your best. Keep breathing. Keep the forearms nice and parallel, and then we're going to just come right up into the down dog. Sitting bones lifting high, heels dropping low. Inhale, stepping the feet up, bringing them right together, heart lifted, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stretching all the way up, and exhale, releasing your hands to your heart. Stepping your feet apart now to hip width, placing your hands on your hips. Inhale, lift the heart, roll the shoulders open, look up. Exhale, folding nice and deep, taking the big toes with the first 2 fingers and thumbs on each hand. And then we're going to fold deep here, in the standing forward fold. Let your head go, keep your shoulders nice and wide, and use that connection between your hands and your feet to help pull yourself deeper into this pose. You don't have to have straight legs here. If you have very tight hamstrings, feel free to keep your knees bent. Inhale, lift the heart, look up, and then exhale, we're going to slide the hands right underneath the feet. So here you really might need to bend the knees, and do that in order to get your toes all the way up to your wrists. This increases the intensity in the calves and the back of the knees. Keep breathing, keep lifting the sitting bones nice and high. Good, and inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, take the hands out. And fold deep and bow your head. Inhale, come up all the way, hands together, reaching up, looking up. And exhale, hands back to your heart. Inhale, lifting the arms, reaching up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the heart, look up. Exhale, step back. And high push-up plank pose. Keep breathing. Yep, lots of core work here in this practice. Remember to use your knees if you have to. I'm going to take each alternating knee up toward the elbow here. So cross-body mountain climbers, really working the core here. So try to squeeze that knee in toward the opposite elbow and just work at your own pace. Okay, this doesn't have to be done quickly. It can be done slow and controlled, the way I'm doing it. You can go even slower as well. And you can stop and take a break if you need to, or you can go to your knees if you have to. So just work up your way during these exercises. Good. Exhale and down dog. Nice, big, deep breathing. If your hamstrings are very tight, don't worry about bending your knees. You can bend your knees a little bit in down dog and tilt the sitting bones upward. Taking the shoulders back over the wrists now and coming down onto the right elbow. We're going to take a side plank here with the left arm reaching up in the air. Now you can do this with the right knee down, the lower knee down. It doesn't have to be straight legs the way you see here, but just work hard to challenge your core strength. This is really good for those oblique muscles. And it doesn't have to be straight leg. It can have that lower knee down. Just use it as little as possible. Coming back down now to both elbows, and then we're going to come over on to the other side, reaching up with the right arm. The left elbow stacked right underneath the left shoulder. If your legs are straight, work real hard at pressing the hips up, the rib cage up. Keep breathing. And then exhale, taking the elbow back down to the mat. We're going to lift the hips up and then coming up into down dog. Feet hip width, shoulders, hands shoulder width. Inhale, we're going to step the feet up and come to sitting down now, coming into Navasana, boat pose. So real important here to keep that low back lifting, your heart lifting, your shoulders wide. Your legs don't have to be straight the way you see mine. They can be bent as much as you need them to be in order to maintain the integrity of your spine and that core strength here with the low back lifting. If you need to, you can also hold your legs. We're going to place the legs down now, feet right together, rotating your legs inward toward one another as you lift the heart and let the head drop back. So your hands are right directly below your shoulders. This inclined plane. Another good core strengthening pose. This really opens the chest and the shoulders as well. So keep breathing. I know this is not the most comfortable pose. If you need to keep your chin tucked into your chest, you can do that. And you could also do it with bent knees and feet hip width apart. We're going to come back into the boat pose now, Navasana. So just find your pose. Doesn't have to look like this. Find what works for you, even if it means having to gently hold the legs. Just make sure you're really feeling your core muscles are working, especially your abs. Keep lifting in the low back, keep breathing. You may start out with straight legs and then have to modify as you go along. We're going to take the feet down again and the hands out back. We're going to do that inclined plane one more time. Keep breathing, really squeezing up nice and strong. Keep the legs rotating inward toward each other and the feet right together. Exhale, releasing, and we're going to go ahead and take all the muscle away from the sitting bones so we can find them, plug them into the floor. Take your hands forward wherever they reach. They don't have to be on the feet here, okay? Lift the heart, stretch up, exhale, fold deep and bow your head. You don't have to really bow your head unless you're quite low. The head can stay fairly level with the spine. But just finding your pose, thinking about bringing your belly toward your thighs here. So not really about trying to push your head down toward your legs, but about bringing the belly and the chest toward the legs. Keep breathing. Keep your feet nice and flexed and keep pushing through the inner soles of your feet. Push forward through those inner soles. Just think about surrendering. Every time you exhale, think about releasing and letting go just a little bit more. Inhale, lifting the heart, looking up. Exhale, releasing out of that forward fold. We're going to take the left leg now and fold it and place it under the right. And then take the right leg and place that right foot and ankle over on top of your left knee. Move your lower shin forward. We want to try to create a triangle here between the legs so the lower shin and the upper shin become stacked. That right knee drops down. You sit up nice and tall, lift your heart. You can just place your hands on your knee and your foot. And your top knee may be way up in the air, and that's okay. This is a tough pose. It really targets the outer hips. And it's a kind of a place that we don't stretch very often, so this can be really difficult for some. So if your right knee is way up in the air, don't worry about it. If you can kind of give it a gentle press down without it bothering your knee, you can do that to encourage a little bit of opening, but just find something here that brings some sensation and be with that. And we're going to go ahead and switch the sides. So now your right foot is on top of now your left foot is on top of your right knee. Just make sure you're doing the other side. Sometimes our rights and lefts get a little confused, and that's okay. So just make sure you're doing the other side. Try to stack the shins over one another, even if the knee is way up in the air. Closing your eyes, breathing, just focusing on sensation, just noticing how you're feeling. Try to lift in the low back on this pose too. You'll notice that wakes up the intensity of the hips. Good, and we're going to go ahead and release out of this pose. Taking the feet together for Baddha Konasana, bound angle, as we drop the knees apart. Sit up nice and tall, and then if you need some more intensity, you can fold forward the way you see me doing here. But if you don't need any extra intensity, if it's really strong just by sitting up nice and tall, just stay right there. Just lift through the crown of your head, let your knees drop apart, and just breathe. If you're folded as you inhale, go ahead and come on up. Cross your feet and roll over onto your knees and your elbows, and we're going to come onto the belly. So we're going to stretch the thighs now, so I want you to reach back and grab your foot. Do the best that you can with that. It's possible you might not be able to reach the foot, and if that was the case, just keep the leg bent and keep trying to take your foot toward your butt, even if you're not holding it. Okay, so the forehead, you can just go ahead and kind of sort of lay forward and put your forehead down on the mat or on your arm, and just pull that foot in as close as you can, stretching the thigh. Go ahead and release, and then reach back for your other foot, pull that in, and just lay down and get comfortable. Relax as you're stretching your thigh out. Good, go ahead and releasing that side. And we're going to press back and come into child pose for a moment. Sitting back toward the feet. Arms can be either in the front or they can be along your sides, the way you see mine here. And just begin to breathe deeply. Your knees can be together or apart, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Slowly roll up, taking the feet out now to the left side of your body, sitting down onto the floor, and taking that left foot over to the opposite side of the right knee. I'm going to come into a twist here, so take your left arm behind you, place your hand on the floor, reach up with your right, and then if you can, take your elbow to the outside of your left knee and look over your left shoulder. So you're turning counterclockwise here in this twist. If you can't put your elbow on the outside of the knee, you can just hold your knee with your hand and pull that in towards you to help deepen your twist. Make sure you're breathing nice and deep. Breathe into the back ribs in these twists. And then go ahead and release that side. Switch the legs. And sit up nice and tall, lift through the crown of your head, and twisting clockwise this time. If you find that you're having a hard time sitting up tall, if you feel like you're going to fall over to the side, just straighten your lower leg. Keep breathing, looking over your right shoulder, breathing deeply into the back ribs. Inhaling as you unwind, and take the feet out and go ahead and lie down onto your back, taking your knees in. Give them a gentle squeeze in towards your chest, releasing your legs and coming into Shavasana for final relaxation. Letting your palms face up toward the ceiling and let your legs be spaced comfortably apart. Close your eyes and stay here for as long as you would like to.